I don't know if you have
Right.
this thing connected to your email, but where you can actually see when mail is going into your mailbox. You can see what mail you can. Oh, okay. So I have the thing where I can see what's in my mailbox. I saw that doggone SCDV. I was like, oh, another hit.
What's SCDD? What is that?
I said SCDV.
What's that?
South Carolina drivers.
Oh,
whatever.
You said CDMV. I didn't hear the M. So I was like, what's DV? I'm like, what? But okay, I got you.
Anyway, I was like, yo,
so
I'm about to get hit. Oh, go ahead. Oh, we are recording.
Yeah, we're recording right now. I'm going to chop this out, though. Let's talk right here. I just need you to make a face or something. Give me a face.
That sounds like that.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Okay.
Because you remember how I told you I'm going to start doing the thing?
The thumbnail, yeah.
Yeah, so if that's how you want your picture to look in the thumbnail,
I'm cool with it. I'm alright, man. I'm trying to cool out. Anybody care about no man? See what they see.
For sure, man. So listen, I'm gonna be real with you.
Mm-hmm.
I only got 8%, so we gotta make it snappy. Cause I've been on the phone all day. This is my phone I use for work, but this is also the phone I use for CGSM. So that's why. And plus, my headphones.
Okay. All right.
See, I don't have a normal headphone thing. Remember?
Okay. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and let's get started.
I mean, it ain't gonna take a phone no way, so we're gonna be fine.
Okay.
All right.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's popping, y'all? It's your two favorite brides of Christ. On the mic.
On the live. Oh, this is not live. On the cams. Come on now.
The Godly Gangster Gang. Christian Gangster,
y'all.
Street ministry, man.
What's poppin'? I hope y'all doing good.
For sure, man. We definitely hope y'all are doing well. Tonight, welcome to episode 3, I think, at this point, of Dope Conversations with Christians. Y'all, tonight, we getting real. We getting down to the nitty gritty, y'all. We gonna talk about the things we struggling with. All right?
Hey, I got a song for y'all.
Thinking, man, y'all probably perfect, y'all this, y'all that. Y'all act like y'all don't never do nothing. No, we done told y'all most times we be in the stuff, okay?
Absolutely.
So now we finna talk about just 2 of the things, because, we got a little list. We got a little baby list, too. You know what I'm saying? So,
and Jay got an iPhone, so, iPhones don't last no time. So, let's quick out of it.
You ain't gotta be childish like that. Y'all, my phone is on 8%, so we do gotta actually make this kind of quick. That being said, though, let's get right into it. Kayla, you go first.
All right, man. First of all, you told him. Okay, I wasn't even listening, so you done told him.
That's what you get.
All right. So anyway, the number one thing that I've had an issue with is trusting God. And when I say trusting God, I don't mean I'm not talking about with my life. I trust him with my life, but I've always had an issue with taking control of my own finances. So now I'm in a position where I have to trust him for my finances. Where I've had thousands to just lean back on and be like, yo, I'm cool, and still play like I'm broke. Now it's like, I still got to lay back and still be broke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you not broke. Oh, goodbye.
You said what?
You not broke, though.
Did you not hear that conversation that we had?
And plus, I still got... You remember what you said about me saying I'm weak? You're not broke, okay?
No, this is a fact. Like, when you say that you're weak, you're not weak. when I say I'm broke, I'm looking at my bank account and be like,
but you got to speak like we just talked about affirmations the other week. You got to speak life over your bank account.
I'm not saying this is a bad.
You will
that's just
have
like
a
saying,
wait.
This is just like saying I ain't got cancer. When the report says no, bro, you gotta do this chemo.
That's not what I'm saying. You can still speak life into your bank account. Meaning,
absolutely, but
I will have commas back in my bank account, and it be part of my savings. Just start speaking it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. This is your time to talk. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to tell it like it is, man. For this instance, I'm trying to tell it like it is, like for real. But I'm in a different phase in my life where I've had to like turn my perspective around, and now it's like, yo, even though I don't have what I used to have, I'm still grateful. That's what I've been trying to get at. I'm still grateful. Cause still, some people still don't have some of the stuff that I do have, and I am extremely grateful. And like I was just telling Jay, like, yo, I just got that letter in the mail, boy. I gotta pay the tax for that car. I ain't even opened it up yet. Like, I don't even know what it say. I'm like, Lord, okay, I trust you on this one, cause yeah.
It's real, man.
So so that's my number one, is trusting God with my finances, man. That's being real. And we talk about trust, we talk about faith, and we talk about just understanding God, and all that really takes strength to do all three when you in a position like this. So that's one of my struggles. Jay, you can go with number one.
Actually, we're both. We're both kind of in that same position, actually, and it's crazy because when me and Kayla go through stuff, they either be on the same spectrum, very close, or in the same realm but kind of apart. It's weird, but anyway. So I'm basically dealing with the same thing concerning finances, granted, and more so. Anyway, yeah, I'm dealing with that. So, but at this point, I would say more so, I don't even know if I would necessarily say it's connected to finances, but more so connected to the job side. Maybe more so. So what I mean by that is y'all going through a little situation right now where just don't know about some stuff, right? And I'm just like, Lord, you're gonna have to make a way, because I don't know. At this point, I have no clue, and I refuse to continue to morally smack you in the face just to get $1. Oh, that's the best way to put it. I'm not okay with continuing it. And what I mean, should I just go into it or just leave it at that?
Go ahead, go into it. This is a lesson for people.
Yeah. So y'all, I work in sales, and with my job, I feel like I basically have to lie to people every day. And we all know, like, well, I don't know if we all know, but there's a portion in the New Testament, of course, or I mean just in the New Testament, but through the Bible, where it talks about liars not inheriting the kingdom of God. And one thing that I confessed to Kayla was that at one point in time, I really struggled with telling like little white lies, and the only reason why is because I didn't want anybody to look at me a certain way, and avoiding judgment, I guess, if you will. And so when I confessed that to her, I told her, I was like, man, I'm not trying to live my life like that. Like, I don't like that feeling. I know I'm a truthful person, but at the same time, me telling a white lie to not have somebody look at me a certain way, it shouldn't matter how anybody else look at me. It only matters how God looks at me. Right. So in other words, it was another way of people pleasing. That's the best way to put it. And when I told Kayla about it, I was like, I don't want to live life like that no more. So after that, it was like, all right, I done said something to somebody. Now I got to hold myself accountable. And Kayla holds me accountable too. She be like, all right, yo, man, okay. I'm like, bro, I'm being honest. And I told her, I was like, after I told her, I was like, bro, I should have never told you that. Because now every time I tell you something, you be like, yo, okay, You're like, you don't be believing me when I'm telling you the truth.
That ain't it.
What is it? Tell me.
I just want to see you hold up, your end of the word,
Yeah, for sure, man. And I mean, Kayla knows, because I talked to her. I've been talking to Kayla about this a lot lately, about how I don't like the fact that I feel like I have to lie at my job. I don't like it. And so these past 2 weeks, I was like, I ain't lying to these folks no more. I'm tired of it. And in my honesty, of course, that caused me not to get really a whole lot of sales like that. And it caused me to get written up twice. Well, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all now, unless it's by the grace of God, I'm probably getting wrote up again on Monday because I didn't hit the number I was supposed to hit. So in that would be my final warning. And if I don't hit my numbers next week, they're going to let me go, basically. Unless the Lord sees it fit to be a different way and he gives me, favor. Which I would honestly say, thus far with that job, I've had favor. I'm like, with some of the stuff that was supposed to happen that didn't happen, it showed me how real God was. Just saying. So, reeling it back into what we were talking about, I'm having to trust God in the regard of, okay, God, are you gonna make a way here? Or does this mean that it's time for me to go elsewhere? And in me having to go elsewhere, what about my bills? What about the things I'm supposed to be doing? Not only that, Lord, but am I even really supposed to go back into the regular workforce? Am I actually supposed to go into other things that I've been able to do? And so it's been a challenge in the fact of trusting God and trusting his way. Even when I want to hear an answer, sometimes there's silence. I'm going to be real, y'all. Sometimes God, sometimes he hears our prayers, don't get me wrong, but sometimes the answer is silence. And sometimes that's the hardest part because you're like, man, I need to know something because if you don't tell me I'm going to go out here and do it, then I'm going to mess something up. Mm-hmm. And so I'm having to trust God in a way of knowing that he's going to provide regardless of whether it's the way I want him to or the way that he knows is best for me. Because sometimes we think we know what's best for ourselves and we really don't know, honestly. So say all of that to say, yeah, that's my situation is kind of connected a little bit to Kayla's, but more so on the job side. But then it eventually trickles back over into finances because of how the job situation ended.
I mean, shoot, might as well say my job too, because I work for DSS, okay? Working for the state all the time, bro. We don't get paid enough for what we do. Just put it like that.
Don't care, because when you be calling me, but I'll be like, ain't no way, bro. Like,
and having all
that
work,
you do, these drama, man. Anyway,
drama, working after hours. Like, I legit be lying on my thing, and saying I might be getting off at 5 when literally I might stop working at 6, 7 o'clock. So,
oh heck no, man! You gonna have to pay me.
That's the thing. We don't get technically PTO. We get leave time. So anything that we work over, we can use it for that day.
Like I said, you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna give me something for this.
So it's kind of like PTO, but it's not really PTO. You're just using the time that you used before, But yeah. So Jay, that's what Jay and I. That's our number one is talking about finances. And so we're going to pray with Jay on that side of things, that God comes through and show her. But like I told Jay, like, yo, you got many talents, you got many abilities. She can do it. Yeah, you can pull through. You can pull through, man.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you speaking life, man. You know, me and you, we don't talk about you. We don't talk about your situation. You're going to be fine. You're going to be all right.
Oh, listen, I'm in a place where I'm like, yo, it's cool. Yeah. Even if I got $200 in the bank combined, and that's all I got, I'm cool.
Right.
Like, back in the day, that would have never, ever.
Kayla would have been over there on the corner if she seen that back in the day.
I would have been crying. But right now, I'm like, okay.
But when you think about it, though, like, it's so good how God does certain things to prepare us. Because you think about it. Take it a moment. You're considering what you would have done back then. But had you not gone through all the situations you've gone through at this point to be able to stretch you in the way that it has, you get what I'm saying?
I would have lost my mind.
It just shows how good God is, man.
I would have lost my mind. Y'all understand? Like, lost it all. Just because I got $1,000.
Like, man, I need some money, man.
Yeah. But God is good. and like Jay said, I have faith that I'm gonna see some commas in both of my accounts.
It's gonna happen, man.
Know,
like this is the thing, man. Because of how much you give in itself, it's gonna come back to you tenfold. Why? Because again, like we already know about sowing, and we already know about being able to have the harvest and reaping what you sow. But because of the fact that you don't sow sparingly, you're going to be fine. God sees each and every one of your efforts, even if it isn't just a monetary sowing. You sow a lot of time into what you do. So God is going to give you that time back tenfold into what it is that he's called you to purpose to do. So yeah, you may be spending time doing stuff where it's like just tedious, but that time is going to be recovered in another place. So
I believe listen, because that goes back. That goes into my number 2, trusting God with my changing my perspective of my time, right? Or trusting God with my time. So, because it all plays a part, even with the finances part. Because I would stretch $1 so much, and I will not spend $1 to the point where I would never go anywhere. So now I'm looking back and I'm like, yo, like over the past 24 years, there are people that have more experiences than I do. Like, and I'm sitting here like, yo, I wish I would have did, a couple of things back then. But now it's like, okay, God, I have to trust you with my finances, and I have to trust you with my time and enjoy the time that you've given me.
Come on.
So I'm having to, again, pull it back and be like, okay, I know I want to save this, but I also want to enjoy myself this month. Even if it's every other month with me going to go do something and not every month, I'm perfectly fine with that. And it doesn't even have to be expensive, but it's like, I don't want to regret not going to go asteroid. I don't want to regret not going, to go do bow and arrows or going shooting or going to other different places or going hike. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to regret it because I'm so stingy with my money on myself, but yet I'm not stingy with my money for other people.
That's good.
Like,
so you want to kind of shift it from where it's always money to now more time with people and serving people and fellowship and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And I talked to Jay about that, about wanting to because it also has to do with me fighting myself as well. Because of the fact that I like my time being alone. I absolutely love it, but I'm fighting with myself every day because I am a loner. I like to be alone. Even when Jay and I lived together, I kept my door closed majority of the time. And so I fight with myself. I really do. And it's an issue that I have. It's a mental issue that I may have. I don't know. And so
I wouldn't say a mental issue. I would say maybe more so just something that you're used to. You know what I'm saying? That's your preference.
I mean, yeah, but it's kind of strange when I grew up inside of a house full of people. But
I think that's why. And that's the thing, because there was something that you said a few years back, and you was like, basically, this was back when me, you, and Asia was talking about living together. You was like, I'm not sharing the bathroom. I've been sharing the bathroom for so long in my life.
Oh yeah, I did say that.
It's like, I think it's because of the fact that you've had to share so much with other people for so many years that now it's like you have an option to want to be alone. And so you take that option as much as possible because of the fact that you've been with other people your whole life.
Well, I mean, that, and because it's also just my personality. Even when I've asked my mom, like, how was I when I was younger? She's always like, the way that I am now is like the same way I grew up, like not really wanting to be around people, that type of thing. Even down to me having like being stingy with my money. I've been like this for more than 10 years.
Yeah, I guess.
So the things that I'm breaking is something that I've been my whole life. And so after 24 years, it's like, okay, it's time to break a couple of things. So Yep, that's my second thing.
No, it definitely makes sense. It definitely makes a lot of sense. But I would say you're doing better. That's why I was cheating so hard. Because you stayed at church long on Sunday. You did good. I went outside. I said, oh, Kayla's still here. Look at God. He on the move.
Yep, I said, you know what? I'm going to stick around. Because it had been a couple of weeks anyway.
Yeah.
And,
you're right.
yeah, I stuck around a little bit. I was all right. Let me give my time. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it. Now, is it going to be like that every Sunday? I can't promise you that. But it's a start.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's definitely a start, man. Gotta start. Mm-hmm. Always.
So I'm excited.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And I mean, the fact that you're giving the effort to it helps a whole lot more. The fact that it's not being forced by God strictly, but it's a will that you have to, that helps a whole lot too.
Yeah, man. Like I have a good feeling about these next 5 years. For some reason 5 years is just in my mind. So I'm like, okay, what's about to happen in 5 years? Like what is about to happen, or year by year, something great is going to happen, and I'm going to be flourishing in these next 5 years. So I'm excited. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to see what it is. 5 years. What? If you got something to say, say it.
You already know we done talked about it.
What?
We done talked about it.
We're going to have to talk about this. I don't know what you're talking about.
You just going to have to start writing down stuff when I start telling you, okay? When this stuff comes, you just come, okay?
We talk about it. All right, Jenny, your turn.
The second thing I would say I'm dealing with, honestly, being completely transparent is what I watch and what I listen to. Be honest. What I watch and what I listen to.
Okay.
That's something I want. Well, yeah, no, it's more so what I watch. YouTube. You already know. You know who. That is more so that. So y'all, just to kind of get out of this. So y'all, when quarantine started, there was a YouTube channel that I watched a whole lot, like binge watching episodes. In which at that point it was fine. Like to me it wasn't, and I'm just like, oh, okay, just watching, whatever. Well, the people that were on the channel have now become a couple. They're a lesbian couple now. And so sometimes when I watch it, I feel like it's a guilty pleasure sometimes. But and it's not because like they're doing certain things in the video or anything. But I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like a little convicted. Like maybe I ain't supposed to be watching it. And so it's something that I've been working on. I done followed them on Instagram and everything. You know what I'm saying? I can't see them on my Instagram like that. And the only thing I really be seeing them on is YouTube. If I see them. I still try to fight watching it as soon as the video come out. I am fighting that portion of the thing.
No, I understand.
It's a little tough but that's really the main thing. It's not even more so even really what I listen to, is more so what I watch. And it's that particular channel. It's not anything else. It's not any other movies. It's not pornography. It's not none of that. It's just that YouTube channel for some reason. And honestly, I really got a 3. I'm being real. But
okay, go for a third one, man. I think. Okay, I got something too. Go ahead, girl.
My last one is Forex.
Okay.
Y'all, I've been talking to Kayla about this for a long time. Okay, I've been wanting to get into Forex since 2015, but I have a fear of doing it. Okay. And more recently, I've been seriously considering it more and more, to where probably here within the next 3 weeks, it might be a move. However, and I don't know if they ever gonna watch this, because if they ever ask about our YouTube or whatever, but if they do, then I will, they gonna know the truth. There's a part of me that it's like an alarm ringing concerning the group that I would be going into. And it's not because of what they teach. It's not because of any of that, but because of the lifestyle. that they're putting out. Meaning like, oh, money, money, money. It's the lifestyle. It's the lifestyle. When, y'all, that was one of the biggest things that started turning me off from the last thing that me and Caleb were into, or the last business that we were into. Because as I started getting more into the word, I started noticing more things that they were doing, and I didn't too much care for it because they were pushing the lifestyle more than anything else. Yeah, there were some people in it who were pushing God and who were talking about God and how God changed them, but a good majority of them was still pushing the lifestyle. And unfortunately, the group that I'm looking to go into, they're doing the same exact thing, so to speak. They're pushing the lifestyle. Oh, cars. Oh, Louis V shades. Oh, Louis V this, Gucci that. And to me, it's like, I'm not even worried about that stuff. I just want to make sure my bills paid. I just want to be able to, when I go into trading, I want to be able to make sure my bills are paid, be able to pay off my debt, make sure my family good, make sure my people good, and give back. That's, and of course, take care of the kingdom as far as like, paying tithes and offering and stuff like that. That's what my goal would be with the money. But because of the fact that the group that I'm going into is doing something kind of different from what I'm doing, something about it, every time I think about going into it, and then I watch a video or I watch a snap from one of the people in the group, it throws me off. It throws me completely off, and I'm just like, God, I done prayed about this. This is what I really want to do. Like, I don't know, y'all. Like, if I'm being honest, I'm just like, I don't know. And then, like, I just, like, when I was just telling you just now, this thought came to my word. It's like, well, maybe you're supposed to go into that arena and change it.
I was just thinking the same thing.
But I'm just like, I hear you. I understand. You get what I'm saying? But I don't know. It is something that I'm thinking about, though, because it's like, I don't want to go in there and then get tamed. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a thing of being aware of what you're making yourself susceptible to.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm also kind of wondering, is it like, has God prepared me for that? Is this even something God even really want me to go into? I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
I understand, man. It can be it's a decision that you're gonna have to decide on, and trust God with the decision that you make, and not have any regrets. Because I think that's sometimes that's what you do. Yeah. Is that you think about it and you're like, dang, maybe I should have done this or I should have done that. But at the end of the day, if you made that decision and God allowed you to make that decision, it was for a reason.
Yeah.
So you can't make any regrets, So I understand that.
And see, that's the thing. I feel like I would. Like heck, I regret not getting into it before now. I do. I wish I would have gotten into it years ago, or at least a few weeks ago, when I had what I had. You know what I'm saying? So granted, like, I'm not saying I don't have anything. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I had more at that point, to where it would have been easier. So I don't know.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah, I done prayed about it though, so we're gonna see what happens, man. We're just gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what the Lord would say of the Lord, and just move from that point. That's all we really can do concerning that. But excuse me, concerning everything, really. Like, honestly, I feel like the biggest thing with this whole conversation is trust. Where is your trust, regardless of what your area of trust is going, or where the trust is going toward as far as the areas of your life? The overall thing that I'm catching here, though, is that trust. Where's your faith? Is your faith being built in this moment, in this time? And I think that kind of goes back into yesterday when I was talking about being in the presence, being in the presence, to actually be in the presence of the Lord.
I agree.
What's your third thing?
My number 3, I have to, one of my issues is that, again, going back onto the trust, but trusting God on my future marriage. And that's a big one, because the situation that I'm in. So with me knowing, I am a wife, it's kind of like I'm not trying to push him, but I am pushing him because it's like, yo, you can't talk to me like how you used to talk to me. You can't joke about certain things. Like, you can't touch me in the way that like, it's like pushing him in another realm of where he never has ever been, but it's also like making him understand, or I don't know how to describe it, but just like not trying to push him so hard to where I'm frustrating myself in the process. But also teaching him at the same time. So trying not to get frustrated, trying to be patient, and also trying to teach at the same time is very difficult, especially when that person has dealt with hurt because of my immaturity, because of my inexperience, because of my ignorance. It's like, yo, it's hard. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, but I have to just trust God that regardless of this process, that this rebuilding process that we're going through it's going to be even greater once we do get to that point, if we get to that point with one another.
Right. I definitely get where you're coming from. I think, if I'm being honest, I think the biggest thing concerning y'all's situation is just simply the fact that since there was so much history and so much built in the past, to where it's like you're legit having to go back, tear down that monument or statue and build a new one, but based on new wisdom, new insight, new knowledge. But in that, it's kind of like you're ready to go ahead and build this new monument. He's ready to too, but he's wanting to use the old monument as a blueprint, and it can't be used that way anymore. And so I think, I believe you're doing great. I would say this is the most patient you've ever been, ever concerning.
I don't have any choice. Honestly, I don't have any choice.
You do, but I wouldn't say that. I would say you do have a choice, but you're choosing what you feel like the Lord is showing you to do. And in that's always the best choice. Doesn't mean it's going to be the easiest choice, but it's always the best one. Because in the end, it yields what you needed to yield.
Yeah. And it's like I said, that teaching part, like you have to teach somebody on how to treat you differently than he did in the past. It's different because now he's already accustomed to how he used to do things and how he used to do other women in between that break or whatever. Yeah. So now it's like, bruh, no, baby, I'm a godly woman now. You gotta, and those other women, they let you do this, but nah, they ain't gonna slide with me.
Down like that.
Oh yeah, like, and he realizing that, and it's like, well, dang, you can't be so sensitive. It's like, nah, I'm not sensitive like that all the time, but it's just certain things you just cannot play about because I'm serious about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But I mean, it's showing him he's having to learn the new you, just like you're having to learn him. And I mean, granted, he's gonna grow, and he probably has already grown as a man in himself, in himself. But at the same time, there's a different growth that has to take place concerning him. And I'm sure he's figuring it out more and more now, especially as y'all are getting deeper into conversations and stuff. But I think the biggest thing is that it's his willingness, number one, and two, who he's doing it for. Is he doing it solely for you, or is he doing it for himself? Is he doing it for his children? Or at this point, can he honestly say he's doing it for God? You know what I'm saying? And maybe it'll get to that point. But I think right now, with that change, more than anything else right now, because of the fact that he's still learning certain things, the change would be for you rather than for God right now. So that would just be one thing I would be conscious of. Because, I mean, yeah, you adjust when you're trying to be with somebody and you love somebody and you want to be with them. That's true. But at the same time, if wanting it to stick, if wanting it to be genuine, if wanting it to be something that actually is felt, does that make sense? It needs to be for God, in my heart.
Of course. Absolutely. I agree. Like, it was things that he was doing before we even got together the first time. And it went right back after we broke up, that type of thing. So I knew there were still things in him that was never truly removed when we was together. He just held off, or it was suppressed because we was together.
Yeah.
And so, I completely agree. And so with that being said, but I still have to introduce God into the equation. I am introducing God into the equation. And so as he's learning, it will eventually be where it is for God. Because even the conversation that we had today, and he was like, because we was talking about retirement, he was like, honestly, I could probably retire at 45. And I was like, cool. And he was like, or I might not, because I might be so bored. And I said, no, honestly, if you find your purpose in God, you won't be bored. You will always have something to do. And he kind of got quiet, because the things that I talked to him about, nobody else has ever talked to him about. So I'm introducing little by little. So I'm excited for this journey, but it's nerve-wracking because, for me, it's a time thing also. So I'm like, yo, 28 coming. You gotta hurry up. 28
but that's
coming,
the thing,
baby.
man. You gonna have to continue to be patient. Because as you were saying that, all I can think about is just you with a big old bag of seeds, and you sit up in your hand in there and just throwing the seeds.
Oh, absolutely.
But granted, granted, they are strategic. So maybe throwing seeds is not the best way to put it. But they're strategic and they're in the right place. But it's just the timing of it. You just gonna have to wait. That's the only thing. Just wait. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think at this point, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be able to wait out the timing. It's gonna be fine because you done experienced the other things you done experienced with other people. So it's like, what's the point in putting that into somebody else when this is who I feel like God is telling me is the person? If this is the person that I feel like God is saying is the person, just make it.
I mean, obviously, because it done been 6 years. 6 years and we still here. So
not only that, man, as long as you're continuing to learn what you need to learn and you're continuing to still be in your purpose and doing what the Lord is telling you to do, and it just happens to be that y'all are growing along the way, you can't really beat that in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
As long as you're still able to put that energy in the God and give God what's his and more.
Absolutely. That's the plan, man. That's the plan. So that's my number 3, and that's pretty much it, man. So I talked about, and I'm gonna let you do the recap of yours. I talked about trusting God with my finances, trusting God with my time, and learning to enjoy my time. Then I talked about learning how to trust. I'm learning how to trust God with my future marriage. So those are my 3 things. Yeah, that's my issues or my problems that I am working through with God.
Say word. And then my 3 things are my job / finance situation, that trusting God and concerning that, as far as trusting that he's going to show me which way to go. Trusting God concerning, trusting, dealing with this YouTube channel.
You got it, man.
I definitely keep working on that, man. I'm going to have to figure something out. But concerning, or at least finding out why. Maybe I need to start there, find out why I feel what I feel. But we're going to start there. But so that, and then 3rd, trusting whatever the Lord, say if the Lord concerning for it. And whether I should go ahead and hop on into that group or not. Or heck, if I should just trade independently. But I just feel like, I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, so those are my 3 things. Like I mentioned a little bit ago, the overarching theme I'm noticing here is trust. So that being said, y'all, I think it's very clear that the Lord is trying to express right now that this is a season, again, of trusting him as well. Trusting his timing, trusting his way, trusting the fact that he's going to take care of you. He's going to provide. He's faithful above all else. Just like we just talked about yesterday. He's always faithful on his promises. He's always going to make it do what he do. But it's up to us to do what we're supposed to do on our end, which means repenting or accepting salvation if you haven't already, forgiving, and living out a new and refreshed and holy and righteous life. And so, and then again, y'all make sure y'all tune in on Sunday because Akela is coming forth with another topic as well that's going to go into connection with what we talked about yesterday. So shameless plug, YouTube, Christian Gangster Street Ministries, Facebook, Christian Gangster Street Ministries, both the page and the group. definitely shameless plug on Twitter and Instagram, more CGSM9. And of course, shameless plug on the Game Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Available everywhere. So, y'all, ultimately, I just want to say, man, we just gotta trust him, man.
Absolutely.
We've trusted him with everything else. We just gotta continue to do that in this season. Because if we can't trust him now, and he sees that we can't trust him now, what's gonna happen in the next season? You know what I'm saying? If he tells us to do something and we're not obedient because we don't trust what he's saying, we might end up getting. I'm just saying.
Chop down.
I'm just saying. So, I think this was definitely a good topic, and it's just crazy to me how it's just trust. That's crazy to me. Trust. I don't know. Prayer time tonight. We're gonna talk about trust. That's it. But I ain't gonna hold that much longer because I know you tired, Kayla, and I ain't gonna lie. I want to cook tonight, so I think I'm gonna cook this garlic shrimp and sausage. So we're gonna see how it goes.
There we go.
But thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Please make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment. Make sure you tell a friend, share this thing up. Hit the notification bell so y'all know when we post and stuff, man. And also to know that this
somebody having a fit. Somebody having it out there, man. Sorry, I'm like, what is that?
You know those videos that they've been putting out lately, where it's been people stepping outside their house, flipping the food and all that, and putting.
Oh yeah, man! I do want to go see. I want to go see what that is.
Call me on video if you do it, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, man.
But y'all, we love y'all. Thank y'all so much again for tuning in. Tell a friend, tell a friend. 5. You want to do 5 things or not?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it don't matter.
I think at least 3. I think the 3 P's is worth it.
All right. So, like I always say, there's power, purpose, and prosperity in your obedience, y'all. And so, with that being said, with us talking about trust, it is important that through this whole process of being obedient, that we learn to trust him and learn to trust, like Jay was saying, learn to trust his ways, learn to trust his direction, learn to trust the purpose that he has for us, because everything does not look clear. Everything is not good and gold. Yeah. Nah, bro. Everything is not easy, but yet there's a purpose in it. There's power in it, and there's prosperity in it always. So please be obedient in the things of God so that you can move forward and be more powerful than ever through his will and not your own.
Mm-hmm. That's something that just came to mind. You can't fully obey God if you don't trust him. You can't go forth and do what he's telling you to do if you don't trust him. Think about Gideon. How many times he had, I gotta dish you. I gotta dish you. Okay, God, dish you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he didn't trust God. Yes, he wanted confirmation, but what I am saying is that sometimes there are people out there who say those same things, but it's really not the fact that you need confirmation. It's the fact that you don't trust what God is saying, because to you it don't make sense. But what you have to realize is that our thoughts aren't his thoughts aren't our thoughts, and his ways aren't our ways. So in that, you can't expect things to flow your way all the time, because it's not gonna always work like that. So, but that's it though. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Kayla, for being willing to share with the folk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
But all right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and bounce up out of here. Peace and blessings to you all. Please make sure, again, y'all tune in with us on Sunday. And outside of that, we out of here, man. Peace.
All right, man. Be blessed. Peace.
Hey.